And you also have Team 5 called Tekurious, presented by Akash and Yash. Let's give a huge round of applause for all of these young innovators.
Good morning, everyone. So let me tell you a dream. Imagine a world where every single learner gets the opportunity that they deserve, the future that they deserve because of their knowledge, their potential, not because of the pin code, right? That's what we are building here at Tekurious. Let me introduce to our team. We have our Akash Kumar, our CEO, who is responsible for the tech behind the VR knowledge that we're bringing. Our co-founder, CTO, Anup Kumar Maurya, who is behind the outcome-driven content that we have. And me, Yashwardhan Raj, the CBO, I'm responsible for our market strategy and the scalability of our company. So I will invite Akash to tell us about the whole Tekurious and what we are doing here.
Thank you, Yash, for a wonderful introduction. Now, one of the biggest gaps in today's education is not access to schools, but access to quality practical learning, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, which forms the backbone of developing countries like India. Proper access to lab infrastructure is limited. And this is not by chance. It is happening because, first, setting up physical lab is expensive. It requires equipments, chemicals, and safety compliances. Secondly, even when the lab exists, they are not scalable or fully accessible due to safety risks and limited capacity. Science often gets reduced to theory, and this doesn't just affect learning. It kills curiosity, creativity, and confidence to innovate. And that's where Tekurious exactly comes in. We are building a VR-based immersive lab platform where every student can perform experiments in a controlled virtual environment. Our Tekurious remove the exact barriers which we mentioned. Instead of physical expensive lab, schools can get access to fully equipped VR labs at a much lower cost than the physical ones. Instead of limited capacity, every student can perform experiments in a controlled way and simultaneously. So what happens? It transforms learning from passive to experiential. It also adds curiosity, creativity, and gives confidence to innovate so that our future kids also knows how to innovate. They should know what is actually happening behind experiment, not just cram up the theory part. The technologies which we have used are general Unity and Unreal engines in a VR-based platforms. These are some of the snippets which our lab has offered. And now, for the business part, my partner will explain about how big the market is.
Thank you, Akash. So now you know what Tekurious is all about, but let me tell you how it works as a business. Right now, the VR in education industry values about $20 billion annually, and is projected to grow to $80 billion annually in a decade, which means a compound annual growth rate is about 16 to 30%. In simple terms, the total addressable market sits around $20 to $31 billion, which means all of the market that we have is completely open for us. Tekurious has 1.5 million schools in India as their serviceable optimal market, which means all these schools are in dire need for us to come and help them to integrate the education with AI. Now, the question is that if the market is so big and the demand is so high, why the competitors are failing? Why there's no penetration? Because there are three different things that they're lacking at. First, the cost efficiency. Second, the scalability. And the third, which is very important, is the outcome-driven content. All of these parameters are being bridged by Tekurious altogether. We are bringing B2B service to education board, to libraries, and to the schools in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities so that they can have the same level of education as us Tier 1 city students. Now, one thing that I have to tell you is that we are not a linear economy-based startup. We are a compound economy growth startup, which means that from year 1 to year 5, we are projecting about 3 to 5% growth annually so that our growth income would subside the same way as the growth of our addressable market right now. Tekurious is just not a startup. Tekurious is not another company in this economy of India. It's basically revolutionizing the education system of India at its core.
At the end of the day, talent is everyone, but opportunity should also be available. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much to all these young innovators for presenting their wonderful ideas, and I think they all deserve a huge round of applause for the conviction with which they presented their ideas.